Hello and welcome back to the model bench. In this video I am going to address the lighting of my ship, particularly putting the LED strips into the hull, which will illuminate a lot of the portholes. So the LEDs that I've gone for is this one. I think it's, what is it? Capetronics, and it's 300K warm white, 16.4 feet. It's also got a dimmer, and it's a flexible LED strip light. What I really like about this one is the fact that it has got a dimmer. It's really handy, so once I have the lights installed, I will be able to dim them to what I feel is the best brightness. Like all LED lights, comes with a sticky back on the back, but as you can see here, whenever you see that sign there, it means you can cut them here, and then those two little copper pads you can solder wires onto. So I'm obviously going to measure them out, see how much I need, and then just cut them, and then I can add more lights onto that, But what I will do is, I'll show you these lighting now in a minute, but what I'm going to do is going to install these fiber optics. So these will go into the portholes and just hang down inside, and once the light hits the end, then it will obviously light up the portholes. So I got them in a number of sizes. I think that's a 3, this is a 2.5, and then I also got 1.5 and a 1mm. So that should fit all the different portholes that I have drilled. And I did a few little tests and they work really well. The minute light hits the end, it will carry the light up into the porthole. So that's how I'm going to do the portholes. I also got this, and as you can see, once I cut my LED on the end, say here, I used to cut that here, this little gadget would just slot onto that, and then I've got 2 wires. Just saved me a little bit of soldering. So once that's cut, that just slides on the end, and then you've got 2 exposed wires ready to go to something else. And what I can do with them is, I've got these little gadgets. So as you can see, so if that was connected to a set of LED lights, I've got the 2 wires here. I can then join those 2 wires, and that, if that's in a kind of unit of the ship, that's ready then to attach to the power, and then this just slots in here, like so. So that just slots in. So it just means you've got a handy little thing to be able to connect and disconnect, because as you can imagine, as I work up through the superstructure, it's going to get very complicated with all the wires and all the lights. So this way I can build a kind of section, have a connector come off it, build another section, and just keep daisy chaining them up. That's the plan anyway. That's in theory. We'll see how it works out, but I just thought they were very handy. And again, you can pick them up on eBay. I just looked up all different wiring techniques. I'll put a link in the description to these if anybody's interested, and to these ones. And again, I just wanted to save myself as little soldering as possible. I'm not great at soldering, so I just think this would be a more reliable connector just to go on there, and then you've got just 2 wires to come off, and then it would be easier just to join them 2 then, I can just kind of pair them back, join them, bit of tape, and it's done. What else did I get? Yeah, just got a length of this wire. It's always handy to have, again, just to join and then feed it up through the ship, different parts of the ship. So that again is just your standard black red wire. And I also got then lots of these little show you these little kind of nano lights, I think they're called. these are fantastic. And again, these can go around different sections of the ship, and they are tiny. I will have to add resistors to these, so again, once I start getting things in place, I'll just add a resistor where needed. Now you can see those lights, just really nice. They're so tiny. They'll come in really handy just for lighting, and they're a nice warm white, just for lighting up various parts of the ship. So here are the LED lights plugged in, and I can then control just with the switch. I can then just control the brightness of them. They look kind of a little bit yellow on the video, but they actually are very warm white. So as you can see, that's up to the full marking, and then if I just start to turn it down, I can get it kind of, once it's installed in the ship, I can just get it so that it's not, you know, the portholes don't look like they're blown out, and it just gives a nice soft light. So hopefully they should work really well. Again, I'll put a link in the description. Here I have just done a quick install just to see how the lights are working. So obviously I've drilled a hole in the hull just to allow my cable to go out. My lights are now stuck in just temporarily, as I say, just to work out the length, what have you. I've started to install the fibre optics, and as you can see, they're just glued in with some canopy glue, and they're just facing in towards the lights. So once the lights are on, it will hit the end of the fibre optic and send the light out to the porthole. So once I'm happy, I will glue this in better, and then I still obviously have to do the other side with the fibre optics. But so far it's looking good. That's it up full blast. As you can see, it's very bright, but it's looking good. Obviously in the dark, you know, it'll be better time to test it. And as I said in my previous clip, what I like is I can turn it down and just get it so that it's not so overwhelming. So once I have all the superstructure up, I can then adjust the lights and get it really just to the brightness that I feel is correct. So I'm going to continue on putting in all the fibre optics. That's obviously taken a long time. Still have to do the other side. Once I get all them in, I will then secure my lights in place, and then I can start adding the superstructure. So more work to be done. Here is what I've done with my lights. So I have it coming in the bottom of the boat here, and the lights go up all along down here. Then what I did was I split it, and then I ran another long line down the other side. But where I split it, I put two connectors, one on this side, one on this side. And there you can see they're connected, but I also then ran off a little connector wire here. So that means when I want to light the forecastle or the forecastle, once I have all the lights on this section up here, I can run down a connector and plug it in here, and I've got power. So that allows me basically to power another section of the ship. And then I've done the same down here. This is just a little test just to see that everything's working. So there's one of the connectors. It's coming off, and I just have it connected up to a little nano LED. But again, what I'll have down here coming off here is I'll have a connector that will have a wire running up to the poop deck, and maybe another wire running up to the superstructure, that then I can run the power off that as well. And as usual, it's all dimmable, so I can have it as bright or as dim as I need. Once I have everything, you know, in place, the superstructure, I'll be able to work out exact brightness. But yeah, really pleased with it. Just took a lot of kind of thinking about it, and how to connect up the lights with the minimal of soldering. I just don't want to get into soldering if I can help it. So I thought this was a good workaround. So again, as I say, a connector on this side, a connector on this side, these little connectors here, and then I just joined them both up. But then I also have this third connector joined up as well, and now with that connector I can just add in a wire, and then that will power the top half. So, and again for the back. And also, because I drilled a hole in the bottom of the bow, I obviously didn't want, or in the hole, I obviously didn't want any kind of light leakage coming out of there from where the wire comes in. So I was thinking, what's the best way to plug that? So I remembered I had this little packet of, it's a product called Sugru, S-U-G-R-U, and this came in black, and when you take it out, it's moldable, and you just, you know, work it up into your hands. Then I just pressed it around the hole, make sure it was the hole was really sealed, and then when it dries, it doesn't dry rock hard, it dries like kind of like a rubber, so it's still flexible, but it just stops all the light coming out. I can show you now. So there you can see underneath the boat there's no light coming out. Any light you can see is just coming from my TV, I think. Yeah, it's just coming from the TV. So that was a good little workaround. I'll put a link to where you can buy it. I think it's a good little product. Then I also used a little bit of the product, the Sugru, just to block up the holes where the chains will go in. I can just glue the chains into the hole, but at least now there won't be any light leak going out of those holes either. So yeah, good bit of work done. Pretty happy with how it's going. Considering I haven't really done any kind of electronics before, I'm really pleased with, you know, just chipping away and kind of trying to figure and problem solve myself. So I'm really pleased. I'll show you a few shots now with the light off, and you can just see I still have a lot of the fibre optics to put in. I've just ran short, so I'll order again some more from Lighthouse LED, and I just have to fill in this section as well. But I'll show you some shots with all the lights off, and you can see how it looks so far.